All right, so we're diving into startups and funding today.
Ooh, exciting.
I know you've been super into entrepreneurship
I
lately.
have, yeah.
So this one is, well, this one's for you.
Awesome.
We've got a pretty unique source this time. It's actually, well, it's a fictional story,
Okay.
but it's packed with uh, advice from this like financial guru character.
Interesting.
His name is Mr. Grant Money.
Love it.
Yeah. So the question is, can fictional advice lead to like real world success?
I mean, that's what we're going to find out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. So the story kicks off in Berlin,
Oh, cool.
which, as you know, is it's known for its startup scene.
It's a pretty vibrant hub, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not just background.
Right,
It
yeah.
suggests that the advice we're about to hear is fresh, innovative, maybe even a little edgy.
Yeah, it kind of sets the stage for like risk-taking and disruption.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Aligning the setting with the theme, it adds credibility.
Okay, so enter our protagonist, Lucas. He's a business student, full of ideas,
Okay.
but he's totally overwhelmed by the how-to.
Yeah.
How to actually launch a startup.
It's a common hurdle.
Funding, execution, the whole thing.
Right, right.
I bet a lot of us have been there. Right?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of, I have this great idea, but where do I even begin?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But Lucas doesn't just wallow.
Right.
He takes action. He signs up for this workshop
Oh, cool.
led by, you guessed it, Mr. Grant Money.
All right.
And right away, Mr. Money, he drops this truth bomb.
Okay.
Mastering the pitch is non-negotiable.
Makes sense?
If you can't sell your vision, you're not getting funded. Period.
That's true.
But, here's where it gets interesting.
Oh.
Mr. Grant Money, he doesn't just want a slick presentation.
Right.
He wants a story.
Interesting.
He wants a narrative that connects on like an emotional level.
I like that.
Because investors are people too.
They are.
They're looking for ideas that resonate.
Absolutely. Ideas with a soul.
Yeah, that promise impact,
Mm.
not just profit.
That's a good point.
So it's not just about like rattling off numbers.
Right.
It's about making the audience, making them feel something.
Yeah, making them believe in your why just as much as you do.
Exactly. And that's
Mm.
where a lot of founders go wrong.
Yeah, they get caught up in the technicalities and forget to connect emotionally.
Yeah, what problem are they solving? Whose lives are they changing?
Right, exactly.
Why should anyone care?
That's the most important question.
So how does Mr. Grant Money suggest entrepreneurs tap into that?
Yeah. Well, he encourages entrepreneurs to think of their pitch as a story
Okay.
with a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
The beginning introduces the problem.
Got it.
The middle presents your solution.
Sure.
And the end, that showcases the impact.
Okay.
He really emphasizes using vivid language, relatable examples,
Yeah.
and a clear call to action.
Okay, that makes sense. But storytelling, that's just like
Yeah.
one piece, right?
Right.
What about the practical side of things, like market research?
Oh, absolutely.
Identifying your target audience.
Mr. Grant Money is all over that.
Okay.
He stresses understanding your target market.
Yeah.
Just as crucial as, having that killer pitch.
Oh,
You need to know who you're selling to,
right.
what are their pain points,
Yeah.
and how your product, your service addresses their needs.
So it's not just about having a cool idea.
Right.
It's about solving a real problem
Yes, exactly.
for a specific group of people.
Yeah, he uses this great analogy.
Okay.
Imagine trying to sell snowshoes
Okay.
in the Sahara Desert.
Okay. Yeah.
No matter how amazing your snowshoes are, no one's buying
Right.
because it doesn't solve a problem relevant to that environment.
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
So,
So Lucas is soaking all this in.
yeah.
But then he raises a question that I'm sure is on a lot of our listeners' minds too.
Okay, what's that?
What about the money?
Yeah,
How do I actually fund this thing?
it's the age-old question, right?
Right.
And this is where Mr. Grant Money, he really shines. Okay.
He doesn't just offer generic advice about seeking funding.
Right.
She lays out a spectrum of options
Okay.
tailored to different businesses, different stages.
So what are some of these options? Does he get specific?
He does.
Okay.
He talks about everything from bootstrapping,
Mhm.
crowdfunding for early stage ventures,
Yeah, okay.
angel investors, venture capitalists for the bigger investments.
Right.
He even touches on the less conventional routes like incubators,
interesting.
accelerators.
Okay, but what's key here is that he doesn't just list them,
Right.
he provides criteria
Yes.
for choosing the right path.
He does.
So he's giving Lucas and and us a framework
Absolutely.
for making smart decisions about funding.
Yeah, not just throwing out buzzwords.
Right. I like Mr. Grant.
He's very practical.
Yeah, but he's also acknowledging there's not, like, a one-size-fits-all.
Absolutely.
So where does Lucas's journey take him next? Well, he's drawn to the idea of business grants.
Interesting. Why grants specifically?
Well, it's more nuanced than just free money.
Okay.
Lucas, he's driven by social impact.
Nice.
Less interested in, like, rapid growth, massive profits.
Right.
More focused on building something sustainable, something that aligns with his values,
So grants, with their focus on, like, missions and less, strict equity requirements,
Exactly.
appeal to that desire
Yes.
for both financial and social return.
Yeah, and this is where Mr. Grant Money offers some tactical advice.
Oh, yeah.
It goes beyond just apply for grants,
Right.
He emphasizes researching grant programs,
Yeah.
understanding their criteria, and really tailoring your application.
So it's not just about finding any grant.
Right.
It's about finding the right grant.
Absolutely.
And presenting your idea in a way that resonates.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. So is Lucas feeling more confident now?
He's definitely making progress.
Okay. But Mr. Grant Money, wise mentor that he is,
Right.
reminds Lucas that confidence comes from action, not just knowledge.
Okay.
He encourages Lucas to put this into practice
Right.
by crafting his pitch, seeking feedback.
So it's not just about learning the theory.
Right.
It's about actually doing the work, getting your hands dirty.
Exactly. And this is where the story takes an interesting turn.
Oh.
Instead of just having Lucas practice alone,
Yeah.
Mr. Grant Money, he introduces this unique element,
Okay.
a pitching competition.
Whoa, a pitching competition. That seems kind of intense
I know, right?
for a beginner workshop.
It is, but it's actually brilliant.
Okay.
It simulates that real-world pressure,
Yeah.
but in a safe environment
Okay, I like that.
to get feedback.
So is he up for this challenge?
He is.
Okay.
And that's the beauty of his journey,
Right.
through Mr. Grant Money's guidance
Yeah.
and the support of his peers in the workshop.
Lucas, he undergoes this transformation.
I see.
He starts to believe in himself,
Yeah.
and that confidence shines through in his pitch.
So it's not just about, like, acquiring knowledge. It's about developing, that mindset, that resilience.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how does this competition work?
Well,
Does he, like, get grilled by investors?
not quite. It's more peer-to-peer. They're
Right.
divided into small groups,
Right.
and they take turns pitching to each other.
I love that.
It's a more informal, collaborative way
Yeah.
to get feedback.
So how does he handle this feedback?
He's initially a little hesitant.
Understandable.
It's not always easy to hear criticism.
Yeah, even when it's well-intentioned.
Exactly. But Mr. Grant Money has created this culture of trust,
Right.
and that encourages Lucas to be open.
And what kind of feedback does he receive?
One key piece is to
Yeah.
focus on the problem,
Okay.
not the technical details.
I see.
He needs to make his pitch more concise. Yeah. Engaging, cut out the jargon and add some personal anecdotes.
Okay, so he's getting, like, actionable advice,
He is.
on how to refine his pitch.
And he's implementing these suggestions.
He is.
Yeah, he's not just passively absorbing,
Right.
He's actively applying it, iterating, improving.
He's embodying that entrepreneurial spirit, right?
Exactly, that agility.
Adaptability.
Exactly.
To the competition, it's not about winning or losing.
Right.
It's about that process of refinement and growth.
Absolutely. And the story uses this to highlight another lesson.
What's that?
Rejection is inevitable,
Yeah.
but it's not the end of the story.
Okay, so even in this supportive environment, there's still rejection.
There is.
How does that play out?
Well, there's this moment
Okay.
where Lucas, he gets some tough feedback
Okay.
from one of his peers.
Yeah.
This peer questions his business model.
Ouch.
Yeah, suggesting that he hasn't fully thought through the financials.
That must have stung.
It did, but Lucas remembers Mr. Grant Money's words.
About embracing rejection.
Exactly. He takes a deep breath, listens,
Okay.
and then he asks clarifying questions.
So instead of getting defensive,
Yeah.
he uses the feedback to learn.
Exactly.
That's crucial, right?
It is, because you're going to face rejection out there.
Oh, yeah.
Criticism, setbacks.
It's how you respond that determines your success. All right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so was his peer right about the flaws?
That's the interesting part.
Okay.
It turns out Lucas's peer had some valid points.
Mm.
In his eagerness to create impact,
Yeah.
Lucas had overlooked some key financials. He
Uh-huh.
hadn't fully thought through his pricing strategy,
Yep.
his customer acquisition costs.
So the feedback was painful, but valuable.
Incredibly valuable.
Yeah,
It highlighted a blind spot.
it did.
And this highlights the importance of diverse perspectives.
Yeah.
Sometimes the people who challenge us the most
Yeah.
are the ones who help us the most.
Okay, so Lucas has refined his pitch, uncovered a flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Has he lost his confidence?
Not at all. He's even more determined.
Okay.
The feedback, it fueled his fire.
Okay.
He realizes building a successful business takes more than just a good idea.
It does.
It demands that willingness to learn, to adapt, to constantly refine.
He's embraced that iterative nature. Really.
Exactly. He's not afraid to experiment, to fail.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of the workshop.
Yeah.
Has he secured the funding?
That's the brilliant thing.
Okay.
It doesn't offer that simplistic ending.
Right.
Mr. Grant Money reminds Lucas, and us funding is just one milestone
Okay.
on the entrepreneurial journey.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly. And that journey, it's filled with
Challenges?
challenges, setbacks, doubts.
But also learning, growth, satisfaction.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's Mr. Grant Money's final piece of advice?
He leaves Lucas with this.
Okay.
The most successful entrepreneurs are the ones who are constantly learning. Yeah.
Adapting,
Yeah.
evolving.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment, to fail.
Yeah.
And most importantly, never lose sight of your why.
Powerful.
The reason that drives you, the impact you want to make,
Okay.
that's what will sustain you.
Wow. So it's not just about the business. It's
Right.
about that personal growth, resilience, belief.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a question for you.
Oh, okay.
You've been exploring entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What resonates with you?
You know what? I'm really inspired by Lucas's journey of refinement.
Yeah.
I've got this business idea.
Okay.
I've been hesitant to share,
Right.
but I think I'm going to create my own pitching competition.
Awesome.
Get some feedback.
I love that. And remember, it's not about perfection.
It's about progress.
Exactly.
I like it.
Have fun with it.
Okay, that's perfect. So, to everyone listening,
Yes.
thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Remember, the journey is just as important as the destination.
It is.
Keep learning, keep
So
growing.
keep going. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
The world needs your ideas, your passion.
Yes, it does.
So go out there, make it happen.
and share your journey.
Exactly. You never know who you might inspire